Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the eISL powered by Coca-Cola with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nordwind Gaming as our esports partner, and PlayStation as our platform partner. My name is Nikhil Siavansali, and joining me, of course, is the one and only Azim. And Azim, how is today? How are you feeling?
Good, cannot complain. We had a good couple of days yesterday and ready to go for more eISL action. Sadly, our last day of the week, but we'll be back again before we know it. And excited to see a couple of, at least one team that we've been waiting to see today. But before that, let's take you through the tournament format for those of you just joining. We're, of course, smack bang in the middle of the league stage, which goes on till 13th March. 3 games per match, 2 1v1s and 1 co-op. Finals, 4 teams will make it to the finals 19th to 21st March. And on the 21st March, the 2 winners will have to stop celebrating and then become enemies and face off against each other to decide who represents India in the FIFA Global Series 2022.
Yeah, some big things on the line, but talking about massive amounts being on the line, we have just as much for the prize pool. 78 lakh rupees up for grabs. The first place, of course, with a nifty chunk of change with that 15 lakh, but it's usually that MVP that really catches us excited, because we wanted to see which player is able to set himself apart, and I feel like so far we've got at least 3 to 4 names up for contention for that.
Yeah, and we're going to be seeing a couple of them going head-to-head in our upcoming game for today, which is, of course, we've got Akash from Jamshedpur and, of course, Sagnik from Bengaluru. Let's take a quick look at our leaderboards. We see Bengaluru FC, of course, have played more games than anyone else and sitting in 3rd place. So, of course, want to make... it's actually a bit of a 6-pointer between them and Jamshedpur today, 3rd going up against 4th. So, yeah. Jamshedpur can get massive momentum and sort of overtake Bengaluru with the game in hand. And if Bengaluru win, they can sort of nullify the game in hand that Jamshedpur have and really stake their claim for that top 4 spot. Number 1 and 2 look to be Chennai and Goa for the time being before somebody else can dethrone them. But Bengaluru and Jamshedpur, if there's any 2 teams in the league, it's probably going to be between them.
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm especially excited to see how Bengaluru come up against Jamshedpur, because I feel like Jamshedpur have kind of been our dark horses so far in the eISL, silently picking up win after win. There are 3 wins already. In fact, I believe they were the only team to take down FC Goa as well. So a lot for this team. Sorry, my bad, that was not East United. But of course, again, this is one of
the only team to draw with Chennai,
yes.
I believe. Yeah. So we've got Arvind Mas going up against Varsi, and then the big hitters of Akash and Sagnik going up against each other. So the first game, you could say, a little bit of a low pressure game in the sense, so that's why the guys who have been slightly hit and miss in form are taking those first place spots. But second game would be also crucial, and I would not be surprised yet again if this goes all the way to game 3.
I mean, we'll definitely see if my curse remains or not, or if
it's not a curse actually. It's a
blessing.
It's a blessing. Yeah, that's the opposite of a curse. That's how
it's a curse for the players.
Yeah.
So it's up to them to break it.
And as we look at of course, Bengaluru having played 2 more matches, the goals scored a little skewed, but as you can see, both very attacking teams. 3 wins for Jamshedpur, 4 wins for Bengaluru. So in terms of win possession, Jamshedpur definitely higher, having played 5-1-3. Bengaluru played 7-1-4. So they'll be hoping to keep that momentum going. Bengaluru have looked very, very solid in their last couple of games. As of Jamshedpur, I think probably the 2, apart from the top 2, the 2 absolute form teams in the league right now. And look forward to some massive fireworks today.
Yeah, absolutely. I think especially from Varsi, I'm excited to see what we end up seeing, because as you mentioned, that first matchup, definitely a lot less pressure. But so far for the side of Bengaluru, that's why Varsi is there, because it has usually been Sagnik carrying a brunt of the pressure, and he's been on some scintillating form. But the same for Akash has been the more consistent player. So if either Arvind or Varsi able to get the win here, they're going to severely boost their teammates' comfortability going into that next match. So let's see which player is able to come out on top. And actually, surprisingly, I think we're already ready, but let's take a look at their skill levels and, of course, ages, of course. Varsi is relatively young, but the skill level as well slightly below Arvind's.
Yeah, Arvind actually, if I'm not wrong, is actually higher in his skill level than his teammate Akash. But form-wise, I think
Yeah.
Akash has really been in crazy form. But if you look at the head-to-head of the two individuals, Varsi averaging, both of them sort of averaging 2 goals a game, so not a lot of particularly high-scoring matches. Maybe that's set to change as we have kicked off Jamshedpur in their familiar red jersey and Bengaluru FC in their white away jersey, I believe it is.
Yeah. Now, trying to set up the play, of course, on the attack. We have the side of Jamshedpur and Parsi just holding on to defend and
Going
direct
behind.
passing already behind. Yeah, Eusebio has opportunity for a cross or a cutback, but elects to go for neither.
Yeah, and of course we've seen a lot of that. A lot of players get to that byline, and now suddenly have to start thinking of different ways because everyone's figured out that the basic cutback is going to be. I mean, is that's the number one thing to expect, and after that it keeps getting more and more challenging. Do you take a few touches? Do you try to just keep running down the line and take a shot at the keeper? There's so many different options that you can take in that situation. But Varsi for the moment unable to get out of his own half, and Arvind applying that pressure pretty high up the field, but unable to do anything with it for the moment. And some nice ball control there from Theo Hernandez. And will Varsi look to get in behind? No, decides to go more central. He has now the Cruyff down on that left flank. Let's see what he's going to do. Goes for the low-driven cross in there. He's got Mbappe almost trying for the directional nutmeg over there, trying to if that when it comes off, it's beautiful when you can just nutmeg your opponent. But for now, um, looking pretty end-to-end. Both players wanting to get down to the other end as quickly as possible and try to create that opening, but not too successful right now. It's just defenses for the moment on top.
Yeah, so far the exact opposite of what we saw between Shubham and Afnan, where there's a lot more space in both players' defense as they really are each other's throats, looking to get that first goal on the book. And it looks like Arvind might have a say in just that. But again, towards that defense, the tackling from Varsi so far has been on point, but that's a double-edged sword. A single mistake, it could be a penalty or even just completely missed, and Arvind has a lot of space.
Yeah, and again, Varsi not able to, like, losing the ball pretty much at the halfway line. So I think a combination of a high press and also Varsi being a little casual in possession. But now Pele, he's got Ronaldo in, and this is where the one-on-one skills really matter. Almost got past one, but too many bodies in the middle for him at the end of it. And now on the counter-attack, he's got Ronaldo 9 in. Does he have support? Does he need support? Yes, he does. He's got Cruyff, and then Pele. Will he look to return it to Cruyff? No, deciding to go down the middle. If he's onside, just give the ball back and gets it back. It's just favor done to him by the game over there, and I think that will be not a corner, but a goal kick. All right.
Well,
some interesting calls made by the game so far.
Oh
my goodness!
Van der Sar might have just ruined his entire reputation. His stake for the MVP right there, but not his fault entirely too. But hey. Yeah. Nothing happened there.
Yeah, I think that was more a case of just looking ahead and just putting that pass back, saying, yeah, of course the keeper's going to be there. And then suddenly he's not. We saw this in, I think it was the game Leicester City a couple of days ago, where the same thing happened with the goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel there, whose dad is often used by a lot of the players in this game, Peter Schmeichel. But no harm done. A little bit of high blood pressure for Arvind at that moment, but otherwise not too much in terms of goalmouth action in these opening 26 minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now it just looks like both of the players are looking for that teensy bit of extra momentum, extra confidence to find themselves in a better spot. And that's only going to come for a goal, or at least a very well worked chance. The way it is now. Ronaldo, oh my God.
Yes, that's surely he's got to take the shot, and he didn't. Oh my goodness. Two opportunities there. He could have taken the shot on both times, but just did not get the power into that shot. And guess who? It's that man again, Van der Sar with the save.
I thought the second shot was going in, but as you said, just not enough power on that and on the weak foot as well. So perhaps.
And could be exposed on the break here if Arvind can find that right ball. He's going to be looking for that ball in behind. He's found it, and a missed interception. And could that be costly? It's Van der Sar at the other end now.
Surprise! Surprise.
Yeah, it should just be the eISL powered by Coca-Cola and Van der Sar. That's what it needs to be.
Edwin will make sure you don't win.
Yes. Goalkeeping partner. We need to add that to the slide, guys.
Yeah, goalkeeping partner Edwin van der Sar. Hold on, lots of space created, but it's Vieira with the ball on the edge of the box. That's not what you want, so it is going to slow it down. And when it slows down, it just seems like Varsi seems to give the ball away.
Yeah, I mean, typically in these situations, most of these guys are so sorted with their defense. Like, if you give them time to just get their shape back and figure out their switching and make sure they have the right players selected, usually it's going to take like a bit of individual skill or magic to break through that block that most of these guys are very proficient at.
Absolutely, but right now, you can see the way this seems to be set up for the side of Varsi. Has a bunch of players in the box, but again, I wish these players see our match later today to see the value of crosses, because there was Gullit in the box right there. I would want to cross the Gullit.
Yeah, absolutely, and we will hopefully later in the day be. Oh, that's a bad giveaway. A few interesting touches being made, particularly in the Bengaluru FC players. So we saw that ball in behind as well. Oh, okay, that's okay. The suspect touches everywhere today. Guys, just a little bit of WD-40 in the controllers, I think, required. Just some degreasing. So maybe that's what's going on. But for the moment, camped again outside the half, and just so solid at the back. And oh. It's yeah, not either player's finest moments at the moment, but Gullit, the guy who want in the box, unfortunately in the crossing position. Further play as we approach half time, and it does look like this is going to end at 0-0. Yep, there you go. The referee not allowing any further play, and it is 0-0. And you have to say Varsi is the one who's come closest, had two bites of the cherry, decided not to take either of them, and this was the moment he could have shot. And I think just Pele was sort of on the stretch over there and on his left foot, so that's probably what made the save easier. Probably had enough time to take a touch and then get the shot away, but in the heat of the moment, it's a little more difficult to realize those things. And that's pretty much it. That and apart from one slightly strange suicidal back pass, both defenses large much been happening. Arvind hasn't really managed to create much. It's mostly been Varsi doing the attacking, and both defenses largely on top, but I do think we're going to see a goal at some point.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. We've got a substitution though. Hold on. Cruyff on for Eusebio, so maybe switching formation here, Jamshedpur. I think they were playing two at the front before that, so maybe electing to go with just Ronaldo, one up front, because now I do notice they do seem to have, no, actually, it is just that two up front, both playing very passively. But once again, as you said, it has been Varsi who's looked at slightly more threatening. I think that will be the advice from Sagnik right now. Just keep doing what you're doing. You're bound to get it past Bandisar eventually and get that goal.
And Arvind now using the uncomplicated approach of just running down the wings, using that Mbappe pace to its fullest. And it's quite interesting though. I do wonder, I'm not entirely familiar with the Cruyff card, but it would be interesting. We should ask the players what the merits are between Eusebio and Cruyff, because maybe Cruyff gives you a better cross on the ball, maybe a different angle of shooting. Would be interesting to know. Although Arvind is in and just nicked off the toes by Van der Sar, and some encouragement there from Arvind. I think that's probably the closest he's been to goal apart from that one chance. And hang on, it's Pele over here. Will he take the shot? Probably was worth taking a punt on the shot over there, deciding to go for try to open up an angle for something with a higher percentage, which didn't quite work out. And again, we have Arvind's defense completely set up, and it's up to Varsi to try and break it down using Ronaldo Nai, a ball roll, a little turn. He's got Vieira there. And now with Pele, he's got Gullit in the box again, declines to take the shot on, and it is Jamshedpur's ball again.
I wonder if all these non-taken shots are going to become a question of issue, like an issue later for the side of Varsi, with him wondering, hey, maybe I could have got a corner or two off of those, maybe I could have tried some different things. But right now on the counter is the side of Arvind Mas, trying to get through, but again, both of these players, they like to keep it narrow. They like to get central with their attack, and I feel like because of that, both of them know exactly how to defend against each other. And so far, we haven't got.
I think he's got it now. He needs to take the shot surely, and it is in. decided against the weak foot shot, and I thought maybe that was a mistake, but worked perfectly. Little scoop turn to get the defender out of the way and smashes it into the far corner. And advantage Jamshedpur, you have to say, slightly against the run of the game, because it's generally been Varsi who's been threatening. This was lovely. And Van der Sar almost getting to that one as well, as we see changes afoot in the Bengaluru department.
I wonder if he goes on to the 4-4 to match Arvind, because that was the major change for Arvind coming in here, which seems to almost overload his attacking as compared to Varsi's defend. He's able to use the wings well to almost stretch out the formation that Varsi has in the defense, the compactness that Varsi has in defense, but maybe going for his own 4-4 to match those wingers and not have to stretch out his defense. So we'll see how it works out, but the pressure definitely going to be on him to try and get that goal. And now Aussie trying to get us started. It has a bunch of time though, and given the way this game has gone, he's going to have plenty of chances.
Yeah, and just having a look at the substitutions, Bengaluru FC bringing on Eusebio and taking off Cruyff, and CR7 on for Pele. That's a very bold move. You don't often see Pele being taken off. So maybe a stamina issue over there. Maybe the Pele was low on stamina, deciding to get Ronaldo in for that, and or maybe just wants a little bit more presence in that box. Maybe trying to whip a few crosses in. But for now, Arvind will take his time, pass the ball around a little bit. Of course, there's going to be lots of gaps for him to exploit as Varsi keeps coming forward. There is a gap if he spots it, and just not firing that into Pele, deciding to play it a little safe. And yeah, he has the opportunity to play in Mbappe, but Theo Hernandez gets the job done. And Arvind Mas will come again. High press from Arvind, trying to win that ball back as soon as he can, not give Varsi much time on the ball. But I mean, there's only so long that you can do that. If you do the team press, it's usually 7 seconds, and if it's constant pressure, then the stamina drastically reduces. So you have to find that balance in pressing.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now for Arvind, it's key because he's going to have attack after attack just at blistering pace from Varsi to try and break his defense down. So every piece of extra stamina he can have would be absolutely huge. Maldini under a lot of pressure there. I would panic for a second, but Arvind able to keep it cool and now get it through onto Cruyff on the wing. An early pass in for Pele. This should surely be a nice setup for a goal. Oh my god.
Taking too much time there and just trying to beat Van der Sar at the near post, not something entirely advisable in this game and this tournament so far. A few last minute tips there from Sagnik, maybe looking to make a change. Maybe he's going to try to go for a 3 at the back or a 3-5-2 kind of formation, just to overload that midfield, get more width into his play. But for the moment, he has a corner to defend, and that was the goal, of course. Very, very well worked from Arvind. Just needed one bite of the cherry to get that away, and he's made it count in what has been a very cagey game so far.
We might have to move our fist bump advice from Mumbai City FC to Jamshedpur FC. Like, that was a weird high five if I've ever seen one. It's like a fist bump, master's high five. I'm not sure. We'll have to have a talk.
Does look like Theo Hernandez is off, so it could be a back three and wing backs. And yeah, it's Messi. So, but needs to make sure he doesn't concede first, and it's going to be another corner. This suits Jamshedpur perfectly. They're going to just keep trying to waste a little bit of time and also, of course, create a chance. Is going with Cruyff, gives that away, but gets it back. And now Ronaldo 9, won by Marquinhos. And now as the attack starts, it does look like it's almost a 4-3-3 or a 3-4-3 at this moment. And it's given away and given back. Oh, that's Varsi will be kicking himself over there, because that was a big opportunity. Unfortunately, didn't work out for him. Gets it back, and now just about 10 in-game minutes, including stoppage time. Lovely shot fake to make the space from Ronaldo, who appears to almost be playing as a central midfielder at this point. And plenty of bodies in the box right now. And the ball with the one you maybe didn't want over there in Gullit. Now Ronaldo will be looking for the other Ronaldo. Another ball roll, looking for the... Should have tried to cross over there.
Surely.
Maybe still can. And there you go, that cutback, I think a little... Not even a cutback, I think just a straight pass to the keeper over there. Didn't quite work out. A little bit of time wasting. Van der Sar launches it forward, and almost spectacular through ball by the keeper, but defense suitably deep to cover that. And yeah, I think we're approaching the last play or the last meaningful attack. Had the opportunity to send Mbappe through with Gullit, elected not to. He's now got Eusebio. And yeah, Ronaldo 7 with plenty of space.
Oh, Gullit.
And Gullit has to take the shot.
No.
Time finish is all wrong. That was the moment. And I guess any of his attacking players in there that might have just crept in. But Ruud Gullit on his weaker foot, and Mbappe turns away. He's going to kick the ball out immediately. Or will he try to just add a second goal just for fun? Nope, that's it. And it is going to end 1-0 to Arvind, and Varsi will be a bit annoyed with himself. He opened the opportunity up, he had the chance. Just possibly the wrong player in the wrong place at the wrong time over there with Gullit on his left foot. Tried to go for that time finish, did not work out at all, and it just like a damn squib just bounced out of play. And yeah, now the pressure on Sagnik. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, and I will say for me, the biggest difference in this matchup was, even though there were several situations where we were not sure if Arvind made the right decision with respect to not taking the shot or taking the shot, he seemed to always commit to his playstyle. He's like, yeah, I want to do this, and it paid off for him. The scoop itself, for example, understanding the angle he wanted to be able to commit to it, as compared to several moments from Varsi, including this one, like as you mentioned, right? I feel like maybe even with Ronaldo, he could have just slammed it top bins with his left foot, but maybe even taken a touch with Pele. It's just the small milliseconds, and that's how close these two players were. The decisions in those small milliseconds making all the difference. Like, yeah, that one, the really nice scoop, knew exactly what he wanted to get done, and worked out very well. Like, it almost sort of, at least for a second, sent Van der Sar the wrong way before him having the reposition.
Yeah, and a couple of big chances for Varsi in that second half as well. A couple of chances for Jamshedpur as well. This looked like it had goal written all over it, but I think delayed the shot a little bit too much in that instance. Tried to go for that low-driven finish into the bottom corner, but the keeper was covering the near post, so it was never likely to be a goal. And went ultra-attacking at the end, pretty much a 3-4-3. Created the chance, but unfortunately it did not quite work out. And as you can see, very, very close in terms of the possession and the expected goals, 1.2 to 1.7. Varsi did create a lot of decent chances, just not able to put them away. And there you go, the shot accuracy is what makes the difference, right? 3 shots, 3 on target, 1 goal, as opposed to 2 shots and only 1 on target. And that's what made the difference.
Yeah, a lot more passes, even tackles won for the side of Varsi, but it was that clinical nature for Arvind able to get him a crucial win. 1-0 now in the lead is Jamshedpur, and a lot of pressure on Sagnik because he has to get the win. Even a draw, I feel like, for Akash Ash, while may not be the most ideal result he wants, will be more than enough to then go into the co-op where Akash and Arvind have looked really good. But hey, let's have a chat with Arvind himself about his performance. Hey Arvind, congratulations on the win. It was a close one. How are you feeling throughout?
Yeah, it was a close one. I had a couple of chances and I should have taken it. He also had a couple of chances. It's a very close game.
So do you think that both of you all, like we noticed that the play and the patterns of play for both of you all are very similar. Do you think you and Varsi have a pretty similar style in the way that you all play?
Yeah, he likes to hold the ball. I also like to hold the ball a lot and create those uh, goal like that only.
Okay, so and one sort of technical question which we've been wanting to ask
Mm.
a lot of the players is that so a very common substitution we see is Eusebio for Cruyff. So
Yeah.
what does Cruyff give you that Eusebio doesn't, and vice versa? What is the thinking behind those subs?
Uh, just because for that 5-star skills, the goal I
Okay,
scored also. I did the scoop turn for ball roll scoop.
right.
Eusebio can't do that. Cruyff can do that. So that.
Okay, cool. Finally, we have our answer. But congrats, buddy, and good luck for Akash's game, and of course your co-op
Yeah.
coming up.
Thank you. Hope he clutches it. Thank you.
So there you have it. We finally know
Yeah.
why Cruyff. It's for the 5-star skills, which Eusebio only given 4-star skills. That's
Sus.
think yeah, quite sus. I mean, दे ही दो यार 5-star. इतना मतलब legendary player है. You can just give him 5-star. That's fine.
Yeah. I mean, I doubt anyone's going to go back to the walls and check, right?
Yeah.
But, hey, right now.
Well, the one player who does have 5-star skills in this game is the one, the only, the Van der Sar. He
Oh.
has 6-star skills.
He has 5-star foot skills and 5-star hand skills. So 10-star skills?
Yeah, 10-star skills makes complete sense. As now we see Arvind preparing, of course, a very, very important game now for Sagnik. He knows, of course, he's the higher ranked player, so to speak, in Bengaluru. So pressure is going to be on. Akash has been pretty devastating in a lot of his games. He scored a lot of goals so far this tournament, and there you can see again ranked players. Akash with a rank of 1880 and Sagnik, of course, with 2048. So probably I think the third or fourth highest ranked player that we have in this tournament, Sagnik. So obviously now pressure's on. It's going to have to make it try to get that win, at least get a draw to take this into the co-op game. But I mean, knowing Sagnik, he's going to be going for the win.
Yeah, but somehow I feel like this game won't be as open as the last game was with respect to the defenses because, like, looking at Akash's past games, right? Even, for example, the Chennai game that we talked about earlier, he played against Naveen and that was a 1-1. I feel like yeah, I don't feel like I think I know for a fact that was this to be the biggest test game so far. So Akash definitely someone who can keep it compact in defense, and I think after maybe the Chennai FC boys, Sagnik has to be the biggest test of that because he has been ruthless in his way he creates and sets up his goals, and it's going to be an exciting affair to see that discipline of Akash versus the just like belligerent nature of Sagnik, where he can force himself in wherever he wants.
Yeah, Sagnik in his last game, I think he was put in a really, really dominant display. I think it was 4 goals that he scored. So he's been in good form, and he's going to need to show that clinical finishing, that ruthless nature that he's been showing us for the last last 2 or 3 games of Bengaluru FC, because they've really come into form into the last 2 games, and we're going to want to continue that as a few discussions about tactics, about which players to pick. And it's not just about players and formations and all of that. It's also about individual instructions, how you want the players to behave, whether you want your wide players to stay wide, cut inside, you want your striker to hold up play or get in behind. Lots of very different permutations and combinations as we finally kick off. It is Sagnik for Bengaluru FC needing the win to keep Bengaluru FC's hopes of 3 points alive, and of course Akash will have his own. I mean, he'll be under his own pressure as well, trying to double up on the good work that Arvind has done to get that win. But for the moment, Sagnik looking pretty threatening as a very compact, low block defense from Akash's Jamshedpur FC team. But moving them around, trying to create those opportunities using Ronaldo 9 and Pele, not giving up the ball at all. It's been 5 minutes and not a touch yet. Well, until that one for Jamshedpur FC. And let's see, will Akash look to counter attack immediately, or is he going to try to build something for himself? It does look like he wants to slow things down.
Yeah, and it makes sense to try and get Sagnik a little more spread apart because we know that Sagnik is going to continue to be as threatening as he was in those first 5 minutes. But right now, Akash is trying to get himself into this game and set himself up. But a really nice interception for Sagnik. Has Mbappe on the wing. Will he elect to take him? He will not. Instead, opting to give some time to get his Cruyff and Ronaldo in. And now with the Vieira, nice ball for Ronaldo. But yeah, that low block, Akash ready.
Yeah, and Akash, we did speak to him the last game as he gives the ball away right outside his box, and he's got Mbappe. Now Pele, will he take the shot? Oh, that's brilliantly worked. I mean, just the vision to see that ball to Ronaldo is absolutely outstanding, because I just saw the shot from Pele. I was like, go on, take the shot. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, that beautiful little reverse ball for Ronaldo. It's exquisite. And Sagnik continuing and picking up from where he left off in his last game. It's 1-0 to Bengaluru FC.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to look forward to the highlights package to see that goal again. But hey, as you said, right, like the last game I believe was against Dougal. Not exactly an informed player, but he used it perfectly to get himself into form. And right here we see that continuing. And Akash, he needs to find some form of stability, try to find a goal back ASAP, but trying to do exactly that, he's thwarted by Maldini. And now again, when it seems like we talked about this a lot, where against these low block, extremely compact defensive players, we want the attacking players to be a little faster. And I feel like nobody but Sagnik delivers on that. He knows when to switch the pace.
Yeah, I mean, he's happy to keep possession, but I was about to say he knows when to go up the gears, but the gear shift got jammed just a little bit over there, and I think he's won the ball back. So we haven't really seen much from Akash so far. Hasn't been given the ball at all. And we did see in the last game Jamshedpur FC played in the win. Akash was a very pragmatic player, especially when he took the lead. He was very happy to just and very unabashed about the fact that listen, I need to get the result. So
Yeah.
pretty much at about the 80-minute mark, he's going to start just passing that ball around and keeping it. So for Sagnik as well, it's important to get that lead because even just a draw would be a good result for Jamshedpur. So you want to have Akash in a position where he has to chase the game, because otherwise his game management is pretty good and he can just pass you completely out of it. And for now, he's gonna have to less passing, more attacking.
Yeah, absolutely. But a small thing for Akash, like one of his standards, of course,
Messi.
starts with Messi, exactly. But plays Messi on the right so he can cut in like this. Has the pass free, but did not elect to go for it. I thought he might go to the edge of the box for Ronaldo, pull him up a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Akash. I mean, he does use Messi, but oh, that's a superb ball in behind from Sagnik. Lovely manual run, and now,
Ooh.
I think gets the corner there. Yeah, well done. And
Oh.
okay, we're going to see a cross coming into the box. It's going to be Gullit at the back post. Will he win the header? He does, and it's thwarted by Van der Sar. That's of course the corner routine we've seen time and again. And but usually, if you have Gullit at that back post or Vieira and they win that header, it's usually the ball in the back of the net. But Van der Sar is the man, and I think maybe like we were talking to Arvind in one of the previous games as well, and he said the only real way to defend that is if you try to get an offside trap going and the defense really just all step up and just catch the guy at the back post sleeping. But it is one of those that can be very effective, and he's won the ball back. And but it's one of those that you can also only use, like, maybe for the first couple of times in the game, because your opponent is going to get quite wary to it after that. And hang on, he's in over here and puts it across. It's saved by Van der Sar. He shot it straight down the middle. I think just snatched at that chance a little bit, didn't put enough direction on his shot, and now he's got to defend the other way. He's got Ronaldo 9 running in and does the job, but Akash will be kicking himself after working that so well. Pretty much a free shot on goal with just the keeper to beat, but I mean, I do say just the keeper, but it is Van der Sar, and now it's Pele. Will he go for the shot? Lovely roulette to create the space. Going for the chip, we saw the keeper coming off his line, so cheeky attempt over there. But Sagnik, I think he knew what he was doing. Just a lot of players do that, just try to get the keeper out to sort of force the opposition to make a move rather than just holding on to the ball. And that's what we saw from Sagnik over there. Just bring the keeper out slightly, tempt Akash to go for the chip, and then by the time he skewed the shot, the keeper's already back in his place.
It does look like Akash is getting a lot more into his groove. The roulettes, the chip even, of course, not working out, but instinctively playing, and of course, that usually favors the player able to do that. But right now, I think Sagnik realizing the same, looking to control the tempo and the ball right before the end of this first half, get that last attack on his book rather than his opponent's. But Gullit versus Ronaldo, that's not a physical battle you want to be.
Yeah. And it does look, unless they can get into the box immediately, it does look like it will end at halftime. A little Rabona fake there from Ronaldo 9. Oh, he's managed to commit Maldini and has Mbappe in there, has Pele in there, and that's brilliantly worked, and it's saved again by Van der Sar. That's incredible. Akash has thrown his controller away. And will there be a corner? No time for the corner. And oh my, because he worked that absolutely brilliantly. And yeah, the curse of Van der Sar strikes again. Van der Sar, hashtag Van der Sar, guys. Let's have hashtag Van der Sar going in the chat.
Honestly, yeah, let's get this tweeting. Let's get maybe even the actual Van der Sar. That would be funny. But hey, this is the form we were expecting from Akash, right? This is the decisiveness we were expecting from him, because as you mentioned earlier, even though Arvind is the higher rated player, yeah, just straight, I've done that. I've completely done that. Had an open goal more or less, but just shot it straight at the keeper in my excitement. Like, I'm gonna get a goal. but no, it never works out. And again, this should have
I think
surely
he
gone in.
needed to, I think he needed to go near post though for this one because the keeper was sort of covering the far post. It's natural like in that moment to want to just go far post, or if you're like more comfortable in that angle from shooting far post, which a lot of top rank players are. So it can actually be beneficial in those moments to just
Oh,
go to the do what's slightly unnatural and unexpected and go near post. We saw a lot of those from Ashwin in
yeah.
Mumbai City FC yesterday, and he seems to have cracked that formula. And maybe we need to see a few other players adopting that tactic as well. But for now, it's got Bengaluru FC briefly for a brief moment on the attack, and now Jamshedpur FC will be buoyed by confidence over there for sure. Akash is creating chances, just unfortunately not being able to put them away just yet, but. I do think we're going to see some more goal mouth scrambles for Akash, and let's see whether he can make one of those count.
First one was no direction, the second one the wrong direction, maybe third time. So Chamini is able to get the right direction. I'll have to see, but Messi again. You know what? As soon as you see Afroman coming towards you and you have Messi, you just like you either just
Yes,
lob the
you
ball
know
or you
it's
get out
going
of
only in one direction
yeah.
after that. And it's played to Pele, looking for Vieira. Now nobody in the center of the box. Yeah, you can see slightly forcing that pass. I think he was waiting for Ronaldo 9 to get free into the box so he could just zip one through to him and then be in a one-on-one situation, but didn't quite work out. And that's a bit of a strange one from Akash. Has a bit of a laugh about it and carries on. For now, Bengaluru FC looking in control in these areas because there's no major press really coming from Akash until he reaches that final third. Of course, that will change the longer the game goes on because Akash will be desperate to get that ball back, and that's an interesting
Oh,
looking ball in behind. If the header had been won, that could have been very interesting, but for the moment, got the Cruyff over there, the 5-star skills. So and also that's 5-star skills for Cruyff and 5-star weaker foot for Ginola. I think we figured out those two. And I'm assuming it's probably the finishing ability and the general pace and dribbling that Eusebio gives you. So quite interesting to see just the subtle changes that substitution makes, and that's well worked by Sagnik. And yeah, he's keeping that very well. Worked that to Pele beautifully. The close control in the box keeps going. Oh, almost like he was going through a gap that just he was trying to manufacture a gap there almost. Sagnik didn't quite work out. And another sigh of relief from Akash as a pause skewed by Bengaluru FC. So, Sagnik clearly unhappy with something in his current lineup, which he's going to be looking to change.
maybe just needs some fresher legs. Expecting Akash to up the ante a little bit here. Maybe up the pressure game, go for the constant pressure itself, or keep going for the team press back to back. So pressure legs can help, but right now it is Akash controlling that ball, putting Sagnik under a lot of pressure. But so far, very well managed, and it is that heavy physical duo of Vieira Gullit doing their job. Pele once again, very much like Sagnik did, trying to force a gap, but it just isn't there.
Yeah, and interesting to note that Sagnik keeping a fair amount of width on his defense, whereas Akash is keeping it very compact and very narrow. So there will be opportunities. I think that's why Akash focusing more of his attacks through the middle because there are gaps that he can exploit, but Sagnik is being very quick and efficient in the way that he's plugging those gaps.
And you can see something maybe clearly noticed by Varsi that Sagnik wholeheartedly agrees with. So rather than fresh legs or something he might not be happy with, maybe it's the third option, which is a weakness he notices in Akash's play as he maybe stretches a little more, trying to get that extra goal. And we'll see if Sagnik able to just put that final nail in the coffin. We have about 22 or so minutes left, and it is going to be down to one of these players to produce a moment of brilliance. Zidane on for Messi for Jamshedpur FC.
Yeah, and
Okay,
Ginola on as well, I believe. So going as attacking as he possibly can is Akash right now. Of course, he knows it's very crucial for him to get that goal.
oh,
I would have taken the shot
yeah.
over there, honestly, but it's worked out reasonably okay for him. Still has possession of the ball. Good tackle in there by Gullit, and again, oof, almost. It's just a matter of milliseconds there about being able to get that pass away, and now with Ronaldo. He's got the pace of Mbappe to try and get behind, and we'll find him. Probably should have gone to the return ball there, but I think wanting to just slow it down and eat up a few more minutes over here, Sagnik. He would have seen the game management done by Akash in previous games. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay. Sometimes people can get a bit annoyed about it and say, "Oh, you're just wasting time, whatever." But I mean, if you're going up against a player who's already done that in the past, I don't think he can have any complaints about it. But aggressive press over there, and Gullet's going to come away with it. Vieira overcommitted, and now there's a man short on defense. And can they make them pay? He has two men over on that right flank. He has seen that gap, and now Cafu, will he go for a cross to the back
Oh, he
post?
does.
Surely he has to, and it's saved
Oh,
at the near post by Van der Sar again, and Ronaldo with that was an interesting place to do a trick and a bridge, but worked out reasonably well. But straight back on the attack, Marquinhos gets the job done. And now it's pretty much foot race between Mbappe and Maldini just about makes it. And
oh,
almost almost a disastrous back pass over there, but no harm done. And yet again, maybe one or two attacks left in this game. It's getting tighter and tighter. And Sagnik, of course,
oh!
is
Wow.
going to have an overload
Sure.
to contend with, and that's the goal. Finally for Akash, he has that goal, and it could be a crucial goal for Jamshedpur, because if they get this draw, it means that they cannot lose the 3 points, and they are guaranteed at least the one from the draw. But enough time for Sagnik to put something together, and now it's going to be super high pressure for Akash on defense.
Yeah, and Akash just unrelenting continuously. This turn, especially, absolutely beautiful. Leaving Gullit just caught with his fans down and staring in the air. Like, wait, where did that fella go? And able to get finally past that Van der Sar across the goal and makes it 1-1. Now, the question really is, as you said, can Sagnik pull off something that will get him the win? Or in the search for doing so, will he actually just make it a double defeat here with Akash finding that goal because of the gap? Because it does look like, even though Akash is continuously almost all players dedicated, I think he only has two players back. Because of that, like, he's able to also make sure that all those clearances Sagnik is doing come back to him. So this possession Sagnik has right now off of kickoff, he's got to make it count.
Oh, absolutely. And because the moment Akash gets the ball, I would expect him to just start trying to wind the clock down a little bit. But he's got players in the box. He's got Mbappe, now Ronaldo 9, but the ball is 1, and Akash actually has a good counter-attacking chance over here. Might be able to pull off the win even if he plays this just right. And it depends on how ambitious he is for this one. It's going to run the clock down to close to 90, and there you go, a bit of game management as we've seen quite a lot of from Akash. No pointers either way in this one, and it does look like, I think, probably the fairest result overall, because second half onwards Akash has looked super dominant, like looked like pretty much the only guy who looked like scoring, and that's going to be cleared out. And it is a draw, a shake of the head from Sagnik, a sigh of relief from Akash, and it is 1-1. And of course, that means with one win and one draw, Jamshedpur FC cannot lose this match. And of course, the best that Bengaluru FC now can get in their co-op, which has been very good. And both of these are very good co-op teams. It means that Bengaluru FC now fighting to just get that solitary point.
Yeah, and we're in for a thriller of a co-op with quite low-scoring games on both of these. Game 1, Game 2, I feel like the co-op is going to compensate us for it, hopefully, at least. And we get to see a high-scoring affair. But right now, Jamshedpur FC, they're going to be happy with this result. They are, as you said, guaranteed that draw. But more importantly, I think they're quite comfortable going into this co-op to try and get the win itself. And as we talked about at the start of this matchup, this win is crucial for both of these teams because they are number 3 and number 4 right now on the rankings for Jamshedpur FC with 2 matches on the side of Bengaluru FC. So for Bengaluru, I mean, at this point, yeah, they can't get the win, but getting the draw at least will try and somewhat nullify the matches that Jamshedpur have on hand.
Yeah, and just want to see the reactions to a lot of the misses or saves rather that Akash had, particularly this one. I think he just put the controller away and was like, I'm done with this, I cannot play this anymore. And but persistence pays off. This one again came quite close with Pele. Again, you can see just, but why? How? Yeah.
Like Bandosar, why does he exist?
So
Oh my
this
god.
one, yeah, just worked that beautifully. That first touch was absolutely superb. And Sagnik will be a bit annoyed that he didn't sort of see that coming. Just tried to a little too eager to try to win that ball with Gullit over there, and of
Yeah.
course with the player who's as wriggly and agile as Pele. There's only going to be one outcome, but actually you never know of the outcome because there's Bandasar. But Jamshedpur FC on the balance, probably a reasonably fair result, 2.7 xg to 1.8. So you could say Jamshedpur actually created a lot more of the clearer chances, and 5 shots, 5 on target.
Yeah.
So it was really Van der Sar keeping Bengaluru FC in this game. But that's over. It's one more game left, which is of course the co-op. A bit of a mental switch now for all these guys because they've been very solid. All 4 players actually have been very solid, and we're just going to head over now to Sagnik, who's waiting to have a quick chat with us. Sagnik, tough luck, not able to hang on to that win. What went wrong today?
I always try to press high and win the ball. That's what costed me today, I guess.
Yeah, that turn on Pele definitely him able to get past you. But I wanted to ask about the second half in general. It just seemed like he was able to get clearance after clearance. Do you feel like maybe he got a bit unlucky with the balls here and there, or do you feel it was more of a tactical thing what he was able to achieve?
No, I think Akash is a really good player and fair play to him. Like he should have scored at least one more goal against me. But yeah, that's what I said. Like I try to press up high, and that's the mistake I made this game.
Well, hopefully you'll have a chance to rectify it in the co-op. You guys, of course, are actually both teams have 2 of the best co-op units we've seen, so we won't take up more of your time. You can go and prepare for your match, and good luck for it.
Thank you.
Well, it's always good to be able to immediately be cognizant of what exactly cost you that victory. So that is a good note for the side of Sagnik, but it speaks a lot to what we've been talking about and what we've known about Akash, which is the form he's in, despite being. Like say not necessarily at least theoretically the senior player, the way his results have shown he's become that senior player.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He has been that guy to even when the chips are down, he's managed to get those
Yeah.
results on most occasions. And now in the co-op, these guys, Akash has spoken about it before, that they have this almost sort of telepathic understanding because both of them are very similar kinds of players. It's and actually you can say the same of Bengaluru FC as well. They're both very good and very solid defensively. And on when it comes to the final third in attacking, it's usually Sagnik who's going to try to create those openings. And even if you put Varsi, he knows even if I put Varsi in a bit of a sticky situation or one-on-one where he needs to create that little bit of magic to get that shot away, Varsi is more than capable of doing that.
Yeah, exactly, and this is why we regard both of these teams as two of the best co-op units across eISL because they seem to have this. At least they seem to have built this understanding with each other. I think Bengaluru for that especially evident where we do not necessarily see, especially in defense, the understanding, but since then they seem to have really cleaned it up. They are very clear with how they want to attack certain balls, how they want to position themselves even against certain counters, and I think those are the things that really matter a lot because those are the things you do instinctively when you're playing solo. So for you to be able to almost not necessarily tone down the instincts but actually speak out the instincts can be quite difficult. But hey, we're into the game. It is Jamshedpur on the attack, and let's see if Bengaluru is able to find themselves some savage and find that 1 point.
Yeah, and of course, just to remind viewers, a win is the only result that works for Bengaluru FC in this game to eventually get 1 point from the overall match. So plenty at stake. I expect we'll see a fairly aggressive game, aggressive press. You can see there immediately wanting to win that ball high up. Something that Sagnik himself admitted is what cost him the goal in his original game. But of course, in co-op, the dynamics change quite a bit. And there again, you can see very eager to win that ball back, but it can also lead to a few goals, or rather a few gaps that can lead to goals. So it's about finding that balance. And now you see Pele inside. He's going to look for it was an interesting cross, but probably just not read by his teammate over there. But for the moment, camped outside that box. Let's see what they can do.
Absolutely, because right now you can see the way Jamshedpur seems to be dominating possession on the attack. It's almost reminiscent of the way Sagnik did in the first half. So it's actually Bengaluru that have to fight back right now in the squad. And we're seeing that telepathic connection for the Jamshedpur boys, the ones they mentioned, in the way they defend, right? It seems like there's continuously two players pressing you down in the high areas, but as soon as it comes to the midfield or the defense, then it's just that solo striker or whatsoever, adopting that low block that we saw for both of them in the defense of their individual teams.
Yeah, and I do feel that this is going to be a very cagey affair as well. I think maybe 1 or 2 goals is what I would expect from this game as well, because both teams defensively just so solid. They don't give you any room to breathe, and maybe in games like this, it's worth taking a punt on like a long range finesse shot or just something different, something to shake it up. Even if the shot doesn't go in, suddenly you'll be giving the guys something to think about, that okay, we can't stand off this guy and just mark the people in the box. We need to go and close down the shot as well, because maybe one of them will go in. And that's something that maybe Bengaluru FC are not entirely comfortable with. We don't see a lot of long shots, we don't see a lot of crosses from them, and maybe something that they might need to look into through the tournament. We do see a long ball. What is Van der Sar doing? Oh, he was
Okay.
offside. Okay. That is extreme confidence from Van der Sar over there to just have the ball nicely rebound off his backside and casually walk back in as the offside flag is raised. Quite strange.
Yeah, I mean, this is Van der Sar, right? He just knows what the game is going to do before the game even does it, because he is the game. But right now, Jamshedpur back on the attack. Ronaldo with a lot of space can look for the cross here. One big advantage off.
Should
go
fire
up,
that
but-
across,
oh.
and that deflection could have gone anywhere.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the key. He's going to just get down that byline and just hope that his teammate can read that pass. It's Gullit versus Gullit. Gullit 1 wins, Gullit 2 loses. You figure out which one is which. And for the moment, Bengaluru FC not honestly creating much. It does look like a continuation of the last game, where it's all the confidence and the momentum with Jamshedpur FC, but that might well change as we see Ronaldo 9. He's going to look for Pele. He has a couple of players in the box as well. Now Ronaldo goes for the shot. And that's what I meant. Sometimes just take the shot from that odd angle. You get a corner. He's going to take it quickly. Gets the cross in, but just under hit. He was being closed down very rapidly. Just couldn't get the power that he needed onto that cross. And Bengaluru FC will go again. Of course, for them, even though they've not dominated this game particularly, it's still 0-0, and they honestly just need the 1 goal to get the result that, well, not the result that they want, but the best result that they can get. And this might be it. And yes, it is. That's brilliantly worked. I think that was maybe Varsi with the finish. We'll find out eventually, I suppose. But that was well worked. Just that little ball roll to create that half a yard for the shot, and then putting it well past. For once, Van der Sar absolutely no chance.
I mean, we spoke about this, right? Varsi or Sagnik, both players have that capability in that 1v1 to just immediately, instinctively create that space, go for the shot, and they do exactly that. Just one small ball roll, one flick of the controller, of course. The analog stick, that word just disappeared from my mind for a second.
The right stick.
Yeah, but like we were saying, like, they have that instinct, they have the capability, they've got the lead. But again, Jamshedpur, especially Akash, he was down in this position in the last match, was able to claw 1 goal back, and that's all that Jamshedpur need. They just need that top.
Yeah, and getting a little crowded there in midfield. I think obviously a deliberate ploy by the Bengaluru FC boys over there. They do like that long ball in behind when they're playing co-op. One of them basically just says, okay, I'm running, just have a look at the radar and just whack it in my general direction, and let's see what comes of it. Theo Hernandez, hard but fair in on Lionel Messi over there. Interesting that we've had Messi on for pretty much a game and a half right now, but no long shot attempts. So either the players being very polite and saying that they will not abuse the powers of Messi, or just haven't been able to, or haven't been given that opportunity. As Bengaluru FC now, if they play this well, they have a decent counter attack on, deciding to play it a little safe and just keep hold of the ball and attack through the middle. And that's what we're going to do. Theo Hernandez finds himself in central midfield. Get back to your position, Theo. That's not where you belong. And yeah, for now, interesting to see whether they're just trying to run this down to halftime or just playing for that final attack. I expect they'll probably start going for it at around the 44th minute so that Jamshedpur don't get hit on the counter attack. And yeah, couple more passes and we should see them move ahead, or are they going to be content with just seeing out the draw at half time? Oh, does look like they're not interested in
Yeah.
playing football anymore. So yeah, they're just waiting for half time. And oh, okay, not quite. And hang on, this could be a master stroke if it works out, and it doesn't. So I think maybe they took just a little too long over there. But game management, you'd call it. It is 1-0 to Bengaluru FC. A lot of these, we've seen a lot of these crosses fired across the box with no real result for Jamshedpur FC. But the one opportunity that counted came to Bengaluru FC and it has been taken.
Yeah, exactly. It's really been about being clinical with their finishing here, and I think you mentioned this as well. We're expecting this to go down to the wire because of how well matched these teams seem to be, and we'll have to see if someone else is able to find that moment where they can just outsmart the other opposition in the 1v1 and try to find the results. Of course, now it is going to be Bengaluru FC starting us off. Ginola on for FC for Jamshedpur FC. So perhaps a little more crossing here. We'll get to see maybe a little more of the long play setup, long ball setup that Jamshedpur could try.
Yeah, and of course, being able to shoot from more angles.
Yeah.
I think they're hoping to just get a player into the position and not have to think about what foot, what angle. Just have a player
Yeah.
in there who can just shoot from wherever and generate the power that's needed to beat the keeper. And Bengaluru FC using Johan Cruyff, I don't see any substitution from them at halftime. And again, now he's got Pele. This looked like a dangerous position. Mbappe, will he win that back? Nope. Ginola comes up trumps in that battle, but cheap giveaway, and Bengaluru FC can reset again. Oh, what is that? And oh my goodness, that could actually lead to a goal. A complete.
Oh, that.
Oh my goodness, and just gets it back. And gives it back again. What's
Oh my
going
God.
on?
Pele back with it.
Yeah.
Jamshedpur have a
Just
chance.
felt like a complete brain freeze moment over there, and
Oh, okay.
finally, I think they'll manage to get it.
Oh.
And again!
Oh, I think.
Okay, that's been played well enough. All right, fine. That worked out reasonably well. Now testing it out, saying, okay, see that's what I wanted to do, not the 1 bar power cross, the full power cross. And well, no harm done. Gave us a bit of entertainment and heart palpitation for a bit. But Bengaluru FC keep the ball. Interesting time wasting tactics from them, you would have to say, if that was one of them. And for now, it is plenty of time too early to start thinking about time wasting for Bengaluru FC, because this is the result they need. They need to win this game and get that 1 point and keep Jamshedpur crucially behind them in the table, even though they have a couple of games in hand. But psychologically, just being ahead of them in the table is definitely going to make a difference, add a bit more pressure to Jamshedpur FC's games as well. But of course, that result is not a foregone conclusion. That's great pressure. He looked for the ball in behind, and just Maldini just glitching his way to a header win over there. Really using all that physical ability to the max, and we're going to see Bengaluru FC having to defend again.
Yeah, Jamshedpur trying to create from the wing. Lot less central than what we saw from their individual games. Maybe trying to exploit a hole in Bengaluru's defense, or rather stretch it apart the way they seem to have done now. But it's much harder to do in co-op because, of course, there's two players to switch to, the players you're running to. There's two runs covered, and it becomes much harder to find that quick change of pace, which is why this one goal can be oh so crucial. Now we do see a pause. Changes being discussed for Bengaluru, but of course we're expecting changes to come through for both sides, and that is that goal that is so far separating these teams right now.
Yeah, and very, very good finish over there. Well worked goal overall. And lots to think about now for Jamshedpur FC. Let's see how attacking they're going to go, because of course it's a fine balance. They can't afford to concede one more. But if they manage to score that one goal, I think on the whole they probably just about deserve the win. But Bengaluru FC, well, will be eager to have ridden their luck a little bit and just get that point in a game that has just not gone entirely their way.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't. So I think we'll be looking for a bit of luck. But oh, Maldini with a really nice tackle there. Could have gone the other way where we
And
saw.
Maldini the other way as well, and Maldini sliding into Maldini. It's all happening over here.
It's always Maldini.
And Maldini heading forward. Hello. Oh no, heading backwards. Sorry, I got confused with Maldini was which over there. And with Gullit, will they go for a shot? Nope. Pele over there. He's created the opening and it's a goal again. Very similar goal in many ways to the one that Arvind scored. Just using that scoop turn to generate. And whoa! All right, nice little celebration over there. Well done.
Okay.
That's a new one. Haven't seen that one before. Well played between the Jamshedpur FC boys, and now pauses cued by all four players. So clearly something's gonna give over here. And now it's going to be all out onslaught you would expect from Bengaluru FC. They tried the waiting game, they tried the game management, maybe potentially a little too early. And it means that they now have just under 20 minutes to find that winning goal, which can get them the point from this game. And steal a point away from a game in which Jamshedpur FC have largely been the better team.
Yeah, and I think over here, Bengaluru, they've really got to be feeling a ton of pressure. But hold on, Eusebio running straight into the box a lot.
Oh, that's well worked. Surely is in. It is in.
Wow.
It is in. And is that onside? Yes, it is. It looked for a moment like it almost took a slight deflection of his own player over there. We get to see that in the replay at the end of the game. And immediately an immediate reply from Bengaluru FC. That's exactly what they wanted. And could be interesting if at that moment the Jamshedpur FC boys made a few substitutions that were more defensively minded as to whether they'll be able to switch on offensively again after that.
Yeah, exactly. I think Jamshedpur, of course, we'll have to see how they respond. But right here too, right, just that Ronaldo, I'm not sure who was controlling him, but blocked the defender for that long and then just shrugged himself off to create space for that pass. I think it was Vasi who scored that goal. So
yes.
Not surprising, Sagnik was the one controlling the ball with Eusebio in the box, creating that play. Just beautifully done by both of them.
Yeah, definitely. And now the discussion between them about how they're going to defend this, because defending wise, they've looked solid for the most part, but I think maybe they need to reduce that width, and you do see the defensive width has been dropped drastically, along with the line as well, going slightly deeper. And I think if they can keep their midfielders in the right positions, both those holding midfielders in Vieira and Gullit, they could be in with a chance of seeing this out. Just 10 minutes to play, and lots of width being used now. It does look like it's maybe 3 at the back, or is it in? No, it's Van der Sar with the save, and that was onside.
Yeah, and I think Jamshedpur are playing with forward runs tactics on, because everybody is running forward. They're playing extremely attacking, and it's going to leave a lot of holes if they're not able to maneuver it properly. But so far they have. Oh, Ginola with a lot of space. But again, I think you mentioned this before, a crossover when maybe the player wanted a roulette instead.
Yeah, and he had the ball into Pele, deciding to play that safe at that moment. Wonder if they're going to. Oh my goodness! Well, they're definitely going to regret that. Just a very, very poor giveaway. There's been a few of those from Bengaluru FC today. They're really being made to work now to keep this slender lead that they have. And they're going to take their time and build up and work and probe and try to find that gap, manufacture one where one doesn't exist. There it is Ginola. He's got both his feet are very strong. Now finds Ronaldo, shot fake, sort of dummying that ball and letting it run past. And again with Zidane, they're camped on the edge of the area. It's now Pele, the ball won by Marquinhos.
Ooh.
And looked like a handball there, surely, and it is Ginola! It is Ginola, and they're going to be kicking themselves over there. Just had the moment to clear the ball forward, decided to play that little lob instead, and surely now, unless they can create something from just one play, I think that is all 3 points for Jamshedpur FC.
I will say that they have done it before to get the lead itself, so definitely possible that they could do it. But given what we know about Jamshedpur, given what we know about Akash's game management, it seems extremely unlikely. You can see they themselves have drastically reduce their width, and
that's it. That's the game. And Jamshedpur
wow.
FC would have to say a deserved win for him, or rather for I said for him because I'm quite sure it was Akash who scored that goal.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can see the disappointment over there because they had the chance. All they needed to do when they won that ball was just clear it up the field, and the game, the clock ticking down would have done the rest. But unfortunately, trying to be a little ambitious, trying to maybe find a pass and a teammate instead of just going safety first, has cost Bengaluru FC today.
Yeah, exactly, right? Just that difference between that clearance could have been the game itself. Like, even if you are uncomfortable and decide to lob it out for a throw in your own half, I feel like that might have been better than otherwise because it's much easier to control those styles of play. And you can see the Jamshedpur FC boys, yes, they definitely deserved it, but they are realizing how close it really came down to. But a huge win for them in that regard. It doesn't matter how it happened because now not only have they got 2 games on hand on Bengaluru FC, but they are that much closer to them. In fact, I think they've taken over.
Yep, yes, they have. They have taken over Bengaluru FC with 2 games in hand.
Yeah.
So a great result and a very, very important result for Jamshedpur FC. Is pretty much cementing their place now in that top 3 because it's going to take some teams in serious form to displace them.
Yeah, absolutely, and really starting to challenge both FC Goa and Chennai FC now to try and separate themselves from the pack and re-establish what has so far been the top 2 as perhaps the top 3. But that scoop just picture perfect, as you said. It's reminiscent of the goal we already saw, and as we expected, I think it was Arvind scoring that goal. Just very trademark styles from both of the players, but still somehow they find a basic balance between each other while they're maintaining their styles but finding that next level elevated, almost Super Saiyan mode co-op style.
Yeah, and at this moment Jamshedpur FC might have thought it was over, but then some incessant pressure, and over here just kick that ball out. You don't need to play the cheeky pass there, and again I think it might have been Varsi with that pass over there, and you could see Sagnik just having a bit of a moan about it. And as we look at the stats, very close game. You can't really pick too much in the co-op game at least. But I think in the game between Akash and Sagnik, the domination over there was a little clearer. I won't say domination because it was just like it was a draw. But at the end of it, good win for Jamshedpur FC.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think it was very close. Maybe just a few percentage points differing between these 2 teams. And yeah, as you said, we saw those stats in mostly Akash's game versus Sagnik. But overall, intensely close. It did come down to just one decision. And I feel like the deeper we go into the eISL, the more matches we see like this. So a very hard fought for 3 points here for Jamshedpur FC. I'm sure they're going to go back, especially considering we have a break after this. They're going to go back very happy.
Oh, absolutely. And Varsi also, I think, will be thinking back to his game where he had those couple of very clear opportunities, particularly the one with both Ronaldo and Pele, where he could have easily just smashed one of those into the top corner. And then suddenly Bengaluru FC would be looking at a draw at this moment. So fine margins, a couple of moments that didn't go Bengaluru FC's way, but hey, sometimes that's how it goes. And they've been on a good run of form in the last 2 or 3 games, but it's there. Now it's about coming back, and Jamshedpur FC riding that high wave of form. Let's see how far up the table they can keep going.
Yeah, absolutely, especially because for the side of Bengaluru, we see that return of win-loss, but hero of the match is going to be Arvind, scoring both of the goals in the co-op actually. So even that second goal, it was him getting it done. So big props to him. We hoped, we talked to him, he said he would hope Akash clutched it out, and he certainly did for the draw, but Arvind making sure the nail in the coffin there, getting those 3 goals and the hero of the match.
Yes, Arvind Mas with 3 goals. You could say it is a Mass Effect 3 if you are a gamer yourself. That's a reference for you to enjoy. And those are the goals. This one, very well worked. Brilliant stuff. Just like sort of faking one way, going the other. And this one, clear the ball away, man. And well, you could argue maybe VAR in there, maybe a slight handball in there somewhere, but hey, sometimes that's how it works out. And unfortunately for Bengaluru FC, it doesn't work out. Let's now quickly take a look at the leaderboard, and that's changed around quite a bit because it's now going to be Jamshedpur FC sitting pretty in third place, having played the same number of games as Chennai and FC Goa, just 3 points off the top. Bengaluru FC in fourth, but could find themselves dethroned by any number of teams right now. Mumbai City FC, Northeast, Kerala Blasters, all of these teams. In fact, even Hyderabad and East Bengal could overtake them by the time they play next. So very, very interesting to see how this develops. Would have been a very important game for them. But for now, congratulations to Jamshedpur FC. They've been one of the steady eddies of this tournament, very consistent. Just the one game that they've lost. So looking good, and we do have Akash from Jamshedpur FC here to speak with us. Congrats, Akash! Hard-fought victory right at the end. How are you feeling?
Yeah, thank God I got time to breathe now. It was very hard for him to win. Probably these are the wins which will make difference, in a longer term. When you see the table at the end, probably these 2 points might clutch it for us.
Yeah.
Right. And sorry, just before CA gets his question in. So you had a very, I could see your emotions in your game where you became the latest member of the club of players whose lives have been ruined by Edwin van der Sar. How are you feeling in that moment? Because there were some shots where you would have banked on them going in, but just somehow they stayed out.
I was just thinking, what else do I need to do? Some days the game, it favors you. Some days it doesn't. As a player, you gotta take both of these. That's it.
Well, I think that's what I want to ask. So, what is the journey has been the hardest part in finding that consistency? Because what Azim and I were just talking about is Jamshedpur has been one of the most consistent teams we've seen so far. So, what has the journey been like for you guys?
About the consistency, I feel like the skill level is almost similar. In this tournament, the battle's going to be mentally. Who's more mentally prepared? Once you lose your game mentally, there's no way you're going to win it physically. So I just feel, irrespective of whatever happens, you need to keep it calm and just play your game.
Well, thank you, Akash. Congratulations for another win and a deserved 3 points. We'll be looking forward to seeing you in the future.
Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot.
I love the fact that he said the mental factor plays in. It especially mattered in his individual game.
Yeah, absolutely. And mental strength, it's half of this game is about what you do with your fingers, and the remaining half is what you do. How you think and how you approach and how you react to setbacks. And Jamshedpur FC did that fabulously today.
Yeah, absolutely. But of course, a big thank you to eISL for the platform, powered by Coca-Cola, with Hero as our associate sponsor, Nordwin Gaming as our esports partner, and PlayStation as our platform partner. That was the end of our first match between Jamshedpur FC and Bengaluru FC, and it seems like Jamshedpur FC will be looking to threaten the stalwarts up top, but it's not the end of the action for today, so we're going to go towards a small break and I'll be with you with the match.